نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Inshallah, in today's lesson we'll practice letters ghain and khaa that comes from top of the throat. Both of these alphabets are heavy. By heavy, I mean they sound heavy upon pronunciation. There are 29 Arabic alphabets, and out of these, only 7 letters are pronounced heavy under all conditions. We'll learn the remaining 5 heavy letters in upcoming lessons. The correct pronunciation of these two alphabets is ghain. It's not ghain. Khaa. It's not kha. They must be pronounced heavy. The only way you can make a letter heavy is by raising back of your tongue and try to touch back of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. By doing so, the sound of the letter will automatically become heavy. It's a common mistake that people would circle their lips to make a letter sound heavy. Yes, by doing so, the letter might sound heavy, but the sound completely changes. So try to avoid circling your lips. All you have to do is raise back of your tongue to make the sound heavy. All the examples that we learned today, we'll try to spot mud as well in them. Just to remind you, mud means to prolong, to make a letter, the sound of the letter long. There are 3 mud letters, alif, waw, and ya. How do you recognize a mud? There are 3 simple steps to follow. First step is you try to spot alif, waw, or ya in that word. Step 2 would be to identify if alif, waw, or ya, whichever mud letter is present. It should either be empty, free of any sign, or it might have a sukoon sign on top of it. And the third and final step to recognize mud is to see if these mud letters are preceded by their matching haraka, which means alif should be preceded by fatha, ya should be preceded by a kasra, and a waw should be preceded by a dhamma. I want to tell you about the 2 common types of mushaf that people read. The first one is Madni Mushaf, which is also called Uthmani script. The second type is Indo-Pak Mushaf. If you read Madni Mushaf, you'll notice that Waw Mad and Ya Mad will have no sukoon sign, whereas in Indo-Pak Mushaf, Waw Mad and Ya Mad both will have a sukoon sign. Whereas Alif Mad in both Mushaf will be free of any sign. Please share with us in the comments which mushaf do you read. Look at these examples. The one on the right is from Indo-Pak script, whereas the one on the left is from Uthmani script or Madni Mushaf. Can you notice how many mud letters are there in this word? The first mud letter we see is waw. It has sukoon sign, and it's preceded by a matching haraka, which is dhamma. So we'll prolong the sound of noon for 2 counts. Nu. Then we see a ya sukoon, which is preceded by a matching haraka. So we'll prolong ha for 2 counts. He. And then we see an empty alif, preceded by a matching haraka, which is fatha. So we prolong the ha 2 counts. Now let's look into some examples of letter khaa. Do you see any mud letter in this example? Alif, waw, or ya? None. That means we'll not be prolonging any letter. Make sure you pronounce the letter khaa heavy and do not make letter ta heavy. Letter ta is light. Khatama. Don't say khatama. Okay, only kha is heavy. ختم. Do you notice any mud letter in this word? Oh yes, there's an alif. It's empty and it's preceded by fatha. So we're going to prolong letter kha up to 2 counts, and the remaining letters will be 1 count. Khashi'atun. Try to bring your ayn from the correct makhraj. Do not interchange it with hamza. Khashi'atun. What about this word? Do you see any mud letter? Well, there is an alif, but that alif has a fatha, so that cannot be a alif mad. We also see a ya, which has sukoon, and it's preceded by kasra. So this is a ya mad. So we're going to prolong letter kha up to 2 counts. Akhihi. Akhihi. Next word. Does this word have any mud letter? Yes, we see an alif. It's empty and it's preceded by fatha. So we'll prolong the sound of kha up to 2 counts, and all the remaining letters will be single count. Khadi'uhum. Try to bring your ayn. Khadi'uhum. Examples of ghain. Do you see any mud letter here? No. So we'll read every letter just a single count. Ghabaratun. Make sure to keep letter ba light. Do not say ghabaratun. The correct pronunciation is ghabaratun. Our next word. Do you see any mud letter? Yes, there's a waw, and the waw has sukoon, and it is preceded by a dhamma, which is a matching haraka. So we'll prolong letter fa for 2 counts. Ghafurun. Ghafurun. Do you see any mud letter here? Yes, there's alif mad, which is preceded by a fatha. Ghasiqin. Ghasiqin. Make sure to pronounce letter ghain heavy. Last word for the day. Do you see any mud letter? No, so you'll pronounce all these 3 alphabets single count, short. Ghanamu. Ghanamu. If you benefited from this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Jazakallahu khairan. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.